Hey everyone, starting the video with Rob on his phone here. Now this is actually a recording from around the beginning of the year in January, but I never remembered to edit it until just now because I was actually going to look into doing the next episode in the Fantano's 10's series because I remembered recording this. I thought I had uploaded it, but evidently I hadn't. I hadn't even made my review on album of the year for it yet. So yeah, also be warned, the audio is still probably going to be a little lower than it has been the last few videos. Again, this was back in January. This is when really I wasn't even aware that the videos being as low as they were wasn't just my voice or my mic thing, that it was actually something in the computer that, again, I found this issue. I fixed it a few weeks back, so if anyone says anything about it being quiet, I know this was an issue I had at the time. It has been fixed since then, but yeah, one more week of having to deal with that and then hopefully never again. But with that out the way, enjoy Fantano's 10's, The Turning Wheel, Spelling. Let's go. Track time is about 57.5 minutes. It is 12 songs, starting with Little Deer. Let's get into this. Pause right there real quick just to say that this has been really nice so far. I definitely, especially of late, have gotten used to, more music on the harsher side, on the abrasive side, and I am all for that, but this has definitely been nice so far, it's taking its time. It's got all these little elements sprinkling throughout, and it's just really pretty, man. It's just really pretty. But, yeah. was a pretty, a nice opening track. I mean, nothing like, I wouldn't even say it's nothing crazy, it's kind of just, steady with the little like jazzy elements throughout, and just consistently, just throwing little things here and there in the background to kind of catch your attention. But at the end of the day, the meat and potatoes of the song, whether it's, as I mentioned, the jazzy elements, Spelling's voice, which is just this really nice, like, how do I describe it? It's definitely not low, but it's like it's a gentle tone, just something really nice to listen to. And yes, you could say it sounds like something you could have running in the background, but I think it is best experienced as an active listen after having listened through this full first song. Now and I like my experience, and it grew on me as it went. I won't say that this song's like a 10. I mean, but it's definitely in the penthouse. Not quite in the VIP.
Please don't steal my heart. Don't make me start over again. Please don't hurt my pride. Don't make me hide my loving away, away. Lonely, the word rings like a bell. From heaven fell. I always wanted to be a lover, but I can't take the pain. I won't surrender to any other. Ain't it always the same? Hey, how can I ever know what love can truly be? I want to live alone inside my fantasies. Why can't I turn away? I'm under your persuasion. So please
Okay, and I'll let the ambiance of the cricket chirping for the most part just kind of run through the rest of the outro after doing this. But first of all, man, this is some of the most tasteful usage of horns that I've heard in any record. Like, it's... The horns are definitely, so far, have definitely been a highlight. You know, once again, there's so many little things like sprinkled throughout that like even are just there for a couple seconds, and it's like, oh, why didn't I get more of this? And then like, but you hear the full picture, and it's like, man, I still want more of that, but there's so much that I want more of, and it's already 5 minutes, you know. So with that being said, first of all, absolutely loved it. Not quite a 10, but it's in the VIP. Very much in the VIP. I loved it. Okay, Always is, so far it's in front runner status, but I have a feeling it's gonna pick up from here. So that being said, give me just a second. Yeah, sorry y'all had to see that, but anyway, normally OBS would have or at least the way I have it, would have a pause feature, but ever since I reoriented it to maybe try streaming again sometime soon, likely on Twitch, if I do decide to do so, I will give y'all the link. But unfortunately, it does not have that, so I have to do that Tezande ass solution. If y'all don't know who that is, that's the Chocolate Rain guy. You know, Chocolate Rain. You know, that guy. But let's continue. We're here for the music, not for my rambling. Even though kinda, but more for the music.
Dancing, we are dancing without moving, without moving. Looking, glass of glory in our eyes. Lay down all your weapons.
Okay, so that one was Turning Wheel was the simplest one instrumentation wise, as I didn't really hear much beyond like, the drums until like that last part where, the horns and everything else really started kicking in. But throughout, man, like the vocals throughout, both from Spelling and from whoever that choir was that she was harmonizing with. I mean, I don't know if it was an actual choir, but I'm going to go under the presumption it was. I know I could easily look at it, but I'm feeling a little adventurous today. So whoever it was, anyway, my God, that was the most gorgeous of vocals so far in the album. And it's in the VIP, but not quite in the mansion, because like it was all like amazing. It's just missing a little je ne sais quoi that I can't quite put my finger on, that keeps it from crossing that threshold. But I have a feeling like the track or tracks that cross that they're still coming up. So let's let it cook. I think we finally got it. I mean, The bass, the bass throughout, is the first thing I'll talk about because it's not like it's anything spectacular, but like with most bass, it's the backbone of the song. It's the backbone of everything going on. But man, the stars of the show are that synth and those horns, especially in combination. Oh my god, those two mixed together so perfect. It's like heaven on the ears. It's like heaven on the ears right there. Oh my goodness. And of course, Spelling's vocals are really nice as they've been all throughout. And what else did I want to talk about? Oh yeah, the little bits of tambourine kind of splash throughout in the background. Or wait, I think that's what it is at least. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's tambourine. But whatever it is that's kind of sprinkled in the background throughout, it's so nice. It's after hearing what the first track was like, and figuring that the rest of the album was going to sound like this. This is everything I could have hoped for out of this, pretty much. So for that reason, it's in the mansion. It's in the mansion. I think I fully warmed up to the style of this album.
Holy Father, please wake your love. Holy Mother, we forsake your trust. Do we have the mind to change, to make it better? Back down on earth. Space command engage, the great return. Back down to earth. High in a tower we go, America. Lightning strike down to the core. We want it right here. All we need and more.
So, let's see. What did I think of this one? So, first of all, I mean, the shift in tone from the previous tracks is very noticeable here. Like, where it was all kind of, nice and fluffy and fluttery. Every track pretty much I was commenting on the horns. This one doesn't really have the horns. It goes for, it's a little more heavy into the percussion. You really hear like some guitar work throughout here, and it feels a little more gritty. And also with the lyrics, like I kind of had a suspicion throughout the last couple of tracks that the ambiance it was trying to set was kind of spacey, otherworldly. The lyrics in this one kind of just confirmed that was what was happening, and clearly, the return is tumultuous. There is going to be some conflict, some strife. Now, as for that production, not quite, not quite to the level it had been in the previous tracks, but still really freaking good. It's the difference between amazing and really freaking good. Which means it's still really up there. And, spelling does her thing. I mean, the vocal, I don't think it's going to be possible for her to have a bad vocal performance in this. So with that said, it's in the penthouse. It's right outside VIP. Well, with that said, I am definitely excited to see where this change in direction goes.
He's a bird, he's a king, he can swim with his wings like an arrow. He's a bird, he's a king, he can swim with his wings like an arrow. He's a bird, he's a king, he can swim with his wings like an arrow. He's a bird, he's a king, he can swim with his wings like an arrow. Like this. seal, a leopard seal.
Okay, so another pretty nice one. I mean, the outro was the most kind of I don't really know how to feel about this moment. Not that it's bad at all, just I don't know. I this is just a matter of taste thing. Personally, wasn't a fan of just cutting it out at the end there, but maybe that's also in part because I wasn't really like following along with it too well, at least in terms of like what all was going on with the story here. Now, as for the song itself, I mean the instrumental, I really liked it. The heavy focus on like the string instruments throughout. Especially like I'm pretty sure that was a violin. If it's not, like, look, my time between violin and viola and all that stuff is not the best. But just I mean, I can at least tell between like that type of stuff and like a cello, but yeah, no. Any of the other stuff, no. But anyway, Spelling's vocals, are what they have been, and what they have been is really nice. And I mean, it's still in the penthouse. Like, just because I'm not like giving it the official like doesn't mean that I don't like it. It's just not something I really feel like I'd want to return to a ton, or at least that much. But yeah, either way, on the next track. Okay. Yeah, I definitely can feel that the tired is coming upon me. Because this was a really nice song. It really was. And I mean it's definitely at least in the penthouse. I mean, it's one that it felt like the listen, like to really grasp everything, like there's some like, nuance and detail in there that I didn't quite pick up on. That is part of why after this I'm gonna like do a break in the recording and then come back. But I mean, all the little things throughout, like especially those little, I think they're synths that just kind of make it feel all spacey and almost like you're in, almost makes you feel like you're an alien, an outsider among the people being portrayed in the story. And I think it does that really well. And I don't really have much to add about Spelling's vocal performance, because I mean it continues to be really good. And as I said earlier, but I will say again, I don't see any way that doesn't continue for the rest of the tracks. So once again, it is definitely in the penthouse. Okay, so yeah, I'm at the end of this. I probably won't end up giving the full album a rating, and I'll just listen back through it in the future to actually have a rating on what it is. I mean, I might just put an aggregate, like average out all the scores I put when this goes up. But for now, like on first listen, like I'm not gonna have like an actual solid album rating at the end, just for the songs. Anyway, let's get back to it.
There's a legacy that I wanna take over out of my mind and into the daylight. There's a legacy that I wanna take over out of my mind and into the daylight. I draw my sword from the sorrow to fight with destiny. Find out the voice of my father deep and frightening. It's time to show my face. It's time to make my way. I'll take a leap of faith. I'll take a leap of faith.
Okay, so this one was just it was just nice. First of all, I think I have something to like quantify or at least qualify how I would describe how Spelling's vocals have been throughout. And the word is ethereal. I mean, that's kind of how I would, describe it throughout pretty much all the tracks so far. It's just this kind of spacey, ethereal feel to them. Almost like, again, almost like something either otherworldly or maybe angelic, delivering the message. That, at least, that's how I would describe the feel of the vocals. Now, on this specific track, I like the instrumental. It was, I've been saying synth throughout, but really I describe this as, I don't know if that's quite the right word for especially these specifically, so I just say they're like keys driven, and the keys are really good. But there's also little elements throughout here and there. In addition to the multiple sets of keys that come in the foreground. And yeah, it all comes together for a pretty nice experience. Let me give that a like. Yeah, definitely in the penthouse. Okay, so as much as it is evident that I am a bit sleep deprived right now, I actually really liked the little outro there. Whenever I saw it was like about 2 minutes into a 5 minute track and there were no more lyrics, I was like, oh boy, oh this next part's really gonna make or break this, because throughout the parts with the lyrics, it was nice. Spelling's voice again, a constant throughout, really good. The instrumental really started slowly kicking it up a notch once there were no more vocals to be had for the track. And slowly, the multiple layers of keys and synths, beautifully intertwined but also clashed. And then there are also these little sparkly elements throughout that I can't quite put my hand on what they are, but those contrasting with the darker synth pads being used there. I mean, really just I really thought that as good as they work together, the contrast of them really made that part stand out. And so far, it's definitely puts Queen of Wands among my favorites. It's definitely a highlight of the back half so far. So yes, it's in the VIP. What can I say? It's in the VIP. So with that highlight out the way, we have 3 tracks to go, I believe. Yes, so let's get into the Magic Act. Yet another one where the vocal part cuts out just a little early, but the instrumental more than fills out the rest. I mean, I think Magic Act, what was the last track called again? Queen of Wands. I genuinely think Magic Act one-upped Queen of Wands here. Where the instrumental, I mean, for a lot of that instrumental part, I mean, the guitar, which has been used throughout but used kind of sparsely, really takes center stage here. Like, I especially really like that part where I'm not much of a musician, if at all. And I definitely am not very familiar with my music theory, but it felt like there was a part where maybe maybe the guitar was doing this weird time signature kind of thing, you know, this non-4/4. Can't quite put my finger down on if it was supposed to be like 6/8 or something like 3/3 or something like that. I mean, someone who knows a little better can tell me down below, but wow, I love that. And then whenever, it came back home to more of a main riff deal and then transitioned into the keys, basically doing the same thing, like hello, and I feel like it woke me up a little bit too, above all else. And that bias of it kind of waking me up whenever I'm in a feeling of I need sleep. Yeah, that bias kind of has me leaning toward, okay, we're putting this in the mansion. Frame it. Put it in there. It belongs. But anyway.
When I'm complete.
Wow, wow, wow. I mean, this song really is a tale of two halves, and they're both really good halves, but like the first half is like it's solid as all get out. Spelling's vocal performance, is how it's been throughout, and the keys and the drums work together really well, you know. But man, it really turns up whenever the instrumental's just left to its own devices to go wild. And it's the drums and the keys, working together, but growing into more and more of a clash, almost like they're revolting against each other. And then the horns start coming in, and the horns start, growing more and more prominent throughout. And my God, it's like that energy of the second half by itself would be a 10. It would be in the mansion. The first half, still really good. Can't quite put this one in the mansion because of it, but it's in the VIP. And yeah, it doesn't quite surpass Magic Act, but it gives it a run for its money. I think if the whole song was like that second half, I would put it above Magic Act. Even with them both being hundreds, I think that second half is it's that good. But the first half, I mean, this is nitpicking, but the first half kind of leaves just a little bit to be desired. Like, where it's still, like, really good. It would be, like, in the high 8s if I had to score it. But just a little something not there that the second half resolves. So, with that said, we have... Is there one more track? Wow. One more track.
I hear the musical words. I hear the musical words in the arc of
Okay, so that was the closing track, Sweet Talk. And it was a little bit, I think it was one of my favorite vocal performances out of Spelling on here. Like, she really went into those higher registers throughout, especially around, like, here. Like, right back to that. Like, that is just an encapsulation of how I described it earlier. That ethereal feeling on the vocals. And now the one thing that I might knock it for a little bit is, instrumental was still all nice throughout, but I feel like it wasn't really like because there were a lot of elements there, but it felt like they were kind of picking and choosing their moments to be present, and it wasn't really adding as much to the track as it could have. That being said, that's being nitpicky. This is absolutely in the penthouse. And now, as I said earlier, as for an album rating, I'm not really giving this a rating right now, as I feel like I need to give it some more listens to give it a proper rating. But, for now, if you look on my album of the year, which I will probably, post a review in the link below, I'll have a placeholder score that's kind of an aggregate averaging what I rate the individual tracks, but that won't be like an official rating yet. But with that being said, if you've watched to the end, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate all of you. And of course, as always, don't forget to hit them likes, hit them subscribes, ring that bell, leave a comment below. And of course, as always, thank you for coming to my house of music. Stay a while.